So I'll pass it over to Arman, and thank you so much for listening.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It's fantastic to see all of you here today, and inshallah this has given you a bit of a taste of what Archery Ascension is all about. Archery Ascension really has come up with the vision of being not just someone who pins as one of the forefronts of archery horsemanship, but really making Australia known to being a place that is famous for horsemanship and archery. Inshallah we're beginning, not like Omar said, all of us are on a particular journey, but inshallah it's really exciting for all of you to be here today to join us on this journey. I'm going to be having a few people joining me today, and a few non-people joining me today. Inshallah you can guess who they are. Once they come up to the front, you have a closer look. But we've got two beautiful mares. So for those of you familiar, a mare is a female horse. The two mares that will be joining us today are Zarella, also known as affectionately as Zuzu, and Sadika. Both Zarella and Sadika are 100% purebred Arabian horses. Now, Arabian horses are unique in many ways. If you look around some of the race horses that you see in Australia, some of our more popular events, you notice that they're a bit shorter than some of the race horses, and they've got a very different build. They're also known distinctly for their little bit of indented nose, and actually are bred beautifully in some of those ways. The Arabian horse was actually brought to Australia for its strength and its stocky body size. That really allowed it to be incredibly versatile. If I could bring the volunteers to bring the horses up to the front. Now, in line with the vision that we have with Archery Ascension, we have Arabian horses because they're very much related to our culture and our faith. Arabian horses, as many of you may know, are really some of the main horses that are contributing to when it comes to the Islamic culture. And the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ actually expressed his love for Arabian horses, particularly ones with three white socks, and a star on their forehead, which if you look into some of our paddocks, you might see Samira, who's another one of our horses as well. Now, the importance of horses in Islam. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has told us that there's beauty on the forelocks of horses until the day of judgment. There's value, there's beauty in each of them. And inshallah, as we go on these journeys, we'll notice that the beauty is not just in the form or what they can do, whether it be assist you to ride, for transport, to establish nations, but also in what it can do to change yourself. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has also told us that there are 5 particular things that we should teach our children. So he said, teach your children of these 5 things: horsemanship, archery, wrestling, swimming, and running. So when we think about these things, whenever we think about a sport, we generally think about something we do for fun, something that we do with friends. But the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ doesn't tell us something is important unless we know it has incredible value to us, both in our dunya and our akhirah. So when looking at horses, we're thinking about how can this actually benefit ourselves? Well, a lot of studies have shown that horses are an incredible way of building one's character. Horses are non-verbal creatures, but being non-verbal creatures, they're still incredibly communicative. They read your emotions, they read your feelings, they read your sensitivities, and as a person, we need to respond in that right way. When we went to Al-Hassa in Saudi Arabia, myself and a few other members of Archery Ascension, including our president Arman Haque, we met one breeder, and he said he asks everyone the exact same question whenever he meets them. He says, how has your life changed before horses and after horses? Now Omar was thinking about it for a little while, and he couldn't deny that his life had changed drastically in the little time he had been with horses. He found it made him a better husband, it made him a better father, it made him a better brother, it made him a better teacher. So how can horses transform us in this way? Well, we are incredibly social creatures, and every part of us is meaning we need to communicate with people in one way or another. And we find one of the main positions when it comes to breakdowns or miscommunications in a relationship exactly comes to how you read and respond. And if we can perfect our reading and responding of emotions to a creature that is more than five times our weight, more than 3-4 times our size, but still can't communicate us at a vocal level, then how much would that lessons also help us in our other lives? So if you find you're having troubles with your children, your spouses, why not learn horsemanship? You never know, it could help you with your relationship. So inshallah, I just want to leave you with one lesson today. As we conclude, how much time we have left? 5 minutes. Alright, so we still got a bit of time, inshallah. So inshallah, if I could get a little bit of a demonstration for two of our horse volunteers, if you could just bring them into the center here. We can talk a little bit about the horses here. So as I mentioned before, these are purebred Arabian horses. As you can see here, the horsemanship, Arabians are known for their distinctive indented nose, but as well as their stocky build. They're shorter than other thoroughbreds, but even though they're a smaller horse, and may even be seen as a pony in some places, because of their strength and because of their sensitivity, they're seen as horses which are still included amongst the larger horses, simply because of their build, their strength, and their attributes. Now also when it comes with Arabian horses, we found compared to a lot of horses, they're incredibly sensitive. A lot of the things when we have with horsemanship is the groundwork. A lot of people ask us, and on groundwork, a lot of people ask me, is it easy to ride a horse? Is it complicated? Is it an easy thing? And one way you can respond, well, is it easy to drive a car? So yeah, it's easy, you can have a few lessons. What if I just gave you the engine, the body, the wheels, all separated? Is it easy to drive a car? It's not really easy to drive a car unless you've built the car. One thing about horses is that there's incredible relationship that needs to be built before them. There's incredible teachers, incredible mentors when it comes to new ways of horsemanship. And this is the kind of way of horsemanship that we really emphasize here in Archery Ascension, really emphasizing the relationship aspect of the horses. Some people say buying a horse or getting a new horse is just as much of a commitment as finding a partner or having a child. Horses have their own characters, their own temperaments, their own personalities. And you may discover that as you interact with some of our horses throughout our courses. But when it comes to horsemanship, one thing that we really emphasize is the transformative aspect of the relationship. Sadika is one of the horses that we've had the longest. She's been a horse that we've had for definitely over 3 years now. 3-4 years now. Almost from birth. And she's one of the horses that we found most relationship work that's come with it. She's been able to grow with us, she's been able to learn with us, and inshallah we've been able to benefit both as people trying to build a relationship with her, as well as someone we can ride with her. Some forms of horsemanship really focus on just the performative aspect of it, focusing on what you put on their bit, focusing on what you put on, what kind of equipment you use on it. But our idea is we want to be able to bring our horses into new situations, trail riding, horse archery, running down through this path, running down the lane that we built and shoot at some of the targets, but to do so in an incredibly comfortable manner. Now that also shows that horsemanship doesn't only make you a better person, but also can make the horse a better horse. Now what do I mean by that? Aren't horses most best in the natural environment? But just like children, just like people that we know, we can build people to build characters better than how they are if they were left alone. When you look in the wild, you'll notice that horses, they're generally pretty relaxed when they're by themselves, but the moment anything comes close to them, their head will go up, their ears will go back, and they'll be incredibly alert. They're prey animals, after all. They need to be aware of their environment. But when it comes to running, sprinting, performing, horses in the wild are almost always doing it in a scared sense. They're always either running away from something or running to something, most often out of fear or out of need. But what we can do with our horses, if we can make it perform to its best ability, we are able to perform, make it run, make it sprint, take care of its health, take care of its conditioning, in a way that a horse will never be seen in the wild. So much so that a horse can actually perform to its best ability in a calm and relaxed manner. So as we conclude the conversation today, inshallah this has given you a little bit of an insight into what horsemanship will look like at Archery Ascension. Inshallah, we really hope that our horses are able to build a relationship with you and you with them, allowing all of us to fulfill that sunnah of not just teaching our children but teaching ourselves these 5 transformative arts: archery, horsemanship, swimming, wrestling, and running. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us all to benefit from the conversations we had today. May they allow us to continue this journey that we all started, and allow us to continue doing the best that transforms our characters, the characters of our progeny, our generations, and ultimately the characters and culture of our communities. Jazakumullah khairan. If you have any questions, we'll be milling around. Inshallah, we'll be able to have more conversations and you'll be able to spend more time with our beautiful horses.